The second domain of emotional intelligence is self-regulation. And this is all about managing your emotional state and your social and behavioral choices. The key components of self-regulation are integrity and trustworthiness, adaptability and flexibility, conscientiousness, optimism, self-control, and the ability to manage your emotional state when it serves you to do so. We could also include self-motivation here. Daniel Goleman does so in many of his books, but in his first book, and the best known, Emotional Intelligence, he separates it out, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put self-motivation into a separate video to keep this one a little shorter. Note, it doesn't always serve us well to manage our emotions. Sometimes we have to honour and respect our emotions and accept them. To do otherwise may be unhealthy. Sometimes, however, our emotions can get in the way, particularly in times of stress when we have pressing priorities that we need to deal with. Can you think of times when you don't want to alter your emotions? And can you think of times when you do? For those times when you do want to regulate your emotions, how can you do it? If you want to make rational decisions, particularly under pressure, then you do need to be able to regulate your emotional state, and in particular, the intensity of your emotions. Think about times when you've been frustrated, upset, angry, stressed, or scared. Have you made your best decisions? Almost certainly not. When your emotions are in control, you are not in a position to make a fully rational decision. Your brain doesn't have enough attention. It's diverting too much of the attention to the emotions, and therefore there's not enough left for the rational part of your brain to take control. If you're going to make a rational decision, you have to damp down your emotions to restore control to the rational part of your brain so that you can make a good, effective decision. Therefore, managers, leaders, and professionals who are able to regulate their emotions make better decisions. They also avoid upsetting the people around them and therefore improve motivation in times of trouble. They're able to stick more closely to their values, and they tend to perform better in problem solving than just getting things done. So, practice recognizing your triggers and remaining calm. Deep breathing, as few as 3 slow, deep, deliberate breaths can make a big difference. So too can stepping away for a moment and saying something as simple as, "I need some time to think." And often, stating your emotion rather than letting it dominate can keep it in check. "This is making me very angry." You're letting your emotion out in a controlled way. Of course, if you have a little more time, you can analyze the situation, the emotions that are welling up in you, and what's triggering them. You can see them as the consequence of an activating event, something real or imagined that triggered the start of a chain. That activating event led you to make an interpretation based on a set of beliefs that you hold. These beliefs may be rational, based on real evidence, or they could be irrational, based on prejudice. It doesn't matter. Matters is you've made an interpretation based on those beliefs. The feelings you feel and the way that you express them are the consequence of filtering that activating event through the beliefs that you hold. It's as simple as A, B, C. Activation, beliefs, and consequences. Importantly, it's your interpretations of the events that trigger the consequences, not the events themselves. This means you have control over how you feel and how you respond. Once you have some control over your emotional responses, then regulating your behaviors becomes a lot easier. And I have 2 tools to help you that I use more than any others. The first is the scope process. In the scope process, as soon as I encounter a triggering event, I will stop. I will clarify what has happened and then deliberately think through my options for interpreting it and responding. And once I've thought about my options, I can determine how I'm going to respond and I can proceed. Having proceeded, I can evaluate the impact that is having on the people around me, on the situation, and on myself. And if I'm not getting the results I want, I can stop, clarify what's going on, come up with some new options, and proceed again and evaluate how that's working. My second favourite tool is a longer-term tool, which I refer to as the oxygen mask, because we find it much harder to respond resourcefully and to deal with pressure when we have long-term stress. Therefore, it's vital that you build resilience into your daily and work routine. And there are 4 components to my resilience oxygen mask. And I call it the oxygen mask because when you are flying, they say, if the oxygen masks descend, put on your own oxygen mask first so that you're able to help the people around you. The 4 components of my resilience oxygen mask are firstly, good fuel. Make sure you get good quality food and water. You enjoy it in a slow, measured way, rather than just eating junk food and gobbling it down. Secondly, good energy. Make time in your routine for some exercise. That will build up not just your physiological and physical resilience, but also your emotional and psychological resilience. Next, there's good rest. You can't respond well to pressure situations if you are tired. So create routines that allow you to get good rest, good relaxation, and good sleep. Finally, good relationships. Make time to strengthen the relationships that are important to you because they will support you in times of stress. To support this, we have other videos on the Management Courses website and on the YouTube channel that will help you. 2 other videos that are about taking control of your behavioral choices are How to Say No, the Noble Objection, and Overcome Overwhelm, dealing with the feelings of being overwhelmed. Self-regulation is about regulating your emotional responses first and then using that as a basis for regulating your social and behavioral choices. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it and learned from it. I'll be making loads more great Management Courses videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.